Good morning, guys. My voice is a little weird because I have been getting laryngitis, but I have something very important to share about this business and your why and your goals and your consistency. And I was thinking about it while I was showering, and I don't want to lose the information, which is why I have a towel on my head. But I just wanted to share a couple things about being consistent, having a why, having a reason. So I've got a variety of different reasons why I am doing this business. Um, I'm going to start with my overarching financial why, and that kind of drives why I am okay putting a lot of time into the business. Now, that being said, the caveat is I'm going at my speed. You're going to want to go at your speed, but in terms of how much time you put into it. But the tips that I'm going to give you, I think everybody should be doing if you want to grow this business, even a little bit, and it is worth it. I promise you, it is worth it. So my biggest why is I've got a goal, and I know I'm going to reach it, of not only being able to replace my salary that I had at a really awesome corporate job, but also to eventually replace my husband's salary. He has been so supportive in letting me leave my job, knowing that we would have to cut back significantly, like significantly. I mean, we live in an awesome house, but we live with my parents, and that's a sacrifice we chose to make for a variety of reasons. And it's been awesome, but it's also been an adjustment because, we have our own family, but we're also living in a house with my parents. So that brings me to another goal is I want to be able to retire my husband and let him do something that he loves. And also I'd like to be able to repay my parents for all of the help and support that they've given us in numerous ways. That I'm fortunate enough that they've been able to help us and make this possible, so that if there's a month we can't make ends meet, we have that backup. But that's my overarching why. So when I'm putting time in, and my husband jokes we're day shift, night shift, but there's so many families that are day shift to night shift, and they literally never see each other, but they can never ever make ends meet. And my husband has been so supportive in letting me pursue something that I love, that I am confident is going to give us both that financial freedom, knowing that it's a lot of time up front. I'm building the foundation for the house that, the house, so to speak. So it takes time to build that foundation. But once the house is built, you've got this awesome place to live. So 2 to 3 years, a lot of work in, and then things start just snowballing. And that's where the PD comes into place too, just in terms of giving you the confidence, the personal development books, and listening to other coaches speak, but also knowing that the reality is once you really start to grow a team, your work is duplicated. So all the people that I'm helping, if our team helps just a small amount of people as well, we're helping this huge audience of people, and then we're all also financially benefiting. And it shocks and amazes me that I am able to um, work in a way that I'm happy, but also pay my bills. So, that being said, I did mention that I've had to make some financial sacrifices, but that is a short term sacrifice. So, I look at money very differently now. I make all my food, which helps me with my my fitness goals too. Sorry, I'm still half asleep, but it also helps me financially. So occasionally, if I go out to eat, it's normally because like I said, my parents have been helpful. They've offered to take us out to dinner, but really, my husband and I don't do that at this point because I know in 5 years it's not going to be an issue. We can do whatever we want, whenever we want, but we're making the sacrifices now. So even something as simple as, yesterday I was on the road all day with my son. I packed plenty of food for him and me. It was easy to do. It would have been just as easy not to do. And if I hadn't done it, I probably would have spent $10, $15 on food, drinks, whatever, while we were out and about without thinking about it. And that's the thing where, just like working out, it's easy to find a half an hour to do it. It's just as easy not to do it. So it's making that decision to do the easy thing that's going to help you in the future versus the easy thing that's going to send you on the trajectory in the opposite direction. So finances, I used to spend money on small things, not like hundreds of dollars, but small things here and there, and they add up. And so now I think, okay, well, I'd rather be home with my son And it's unique that I was able to leave my job to really focus on this business. And that's where I say my time being put in. Don't look at what I'm doing and freak out thinking you've got to spend hours and hours a day. It is 1 hour a day that you have to spend, but it's consistently. And I cannot stress that consistency enough, but it is worth it. So even the the posting aspect too, consistently. Show up consistently 2 to 3 times a day in your private group, on your page. Show up with you though. That's really important. I've tried to post things in various people's groups just to help support you guys, and I've gotten some comments and some likes, but not nearly as much as I get in my own group, because my group of people knows me, they relate to me, and they want to see posts from me. And that's why when you post in your group, I want you to post genuinely from your heart, your struggles, not my struggles, because they're relating to you, and you can't. They're not going to relate to you if it's not really you, because they'll know it's not you. Your struggles, I don't know, quotes, recipes, whatever relates to you, and you have to keep it you, because people are going to know, and you have to be consistent 2 to 3 times a day. If they're not seeing you, they're going to forget about you. So when they feel ready, they're going to go to somebody else. They're going to go to somebody that they're seeing consistently. And that's the piece that's going to set you apart from any other coaches that they may know. And then our team, as you know, like, we're super supportive with our challenge groups. If you've ever been in a fixed group with us, which I think most of you have been, that group is amazing. So all we have to do is get people ready to change. We put them in our group and they've got all the support in the world they need. But in terms of reaching out to people, you need to be consistent about it, and you need to constantly be adding people. So I've actually thought about the fact that the people that I'm really closest to and that I work most with are people that I didn't even know a year ago. And that took some time for me. It definitely took some time. I know in the beginning my posts actually, I didn't share anything publicly at all, but I did start my private group and decided to share publicly there. The only reason I did that, literally, was because I was desperate and I needed to make a change and I needed to lose weight, and I was desperate, and it was way, way, way out of my comfort zone. I wasn't thinking anything about a business or anything. I was still working. Keep in mind, when I started this, I had a son that didn't sleep more than 2 hours a night. I was working full time. I was, I think, probably actually depressed, thinking back in terms of how often I slept, and just how miserable I was. 2 hours at a pop, my son was sleeping, and then I'd end up sleeping the rest of the night sitting in a chair holding him, because otherwise he would just cry and cry. I was miserable at my job. I felt like a failure, and I was working full time. I was struggling with a lot of things, struggling to be able to feed my son. So emotionally, I was having a hard time. And I found time for the business because I was needing time for me. It wasn't actually intentionally the business, but because I decided to be open and honest with people, people started to follow me. And and then I realized, oh wow, this actually is a business opportunity too, and I actually like it. And that's when I was able to really figure out a budget, and identify how much I was making, and identify that I was able to really, like I said, with my husband supporting me, leave my job and focus on this business, knowing that in the short end, we're making a lot of financial sacrifices. I am not suggesting you quit your job, not at all, but I'm suggesting that sometimes you do need to make sacrifice for the long end of things. But back to my comment about posting. I picked a private group that I wanted to selectively put people in. I put a handful of people in at first, but I made a promise to that group, a couple things, that I would always be honest, the good, the bad, the ugly. And and out of necessity for me, I posted things to keep myself accountable. Like, I worked out, or I did this or that. It was out of necessity for me, but then the group started to grow, and I started to realize that this community was forming. But posting about yourself, and I'm sure some of you guys, or even some of the people who have said this, people have thanked me for just being open, real, honest, genuine, all of those things, because not many people are. So I challenge you to be somebody who is. And yeah, we are coaches. We are trying to make a living as well on the programs, but only when we think the programs are going to help somebody. And the programs have helped me so much that that's why I pay it forward and share them with other people, because they've helped me so much. Even Shakeology. Yesterday I didn't have it until 10 in the morning, and I was dragging. That first sip, I just felt like, I know somebody on our team actually had said she could compares nothing to beer except Shakeology, which I find funny. I don't drink beer, but that first sip was kind of like how I imagine people who like beer feel when they have that first sip on like a hot summer day. But Shakeology has really, really changed my life. So it's worth it to me. I mean, I tell you, my husband and I literally just can pay our bills with what we bring in each month. But I find a way to have my Shakeology so that I can feel good and continue to move forward. And that means that I cut in other places. And, even down to whatever, my son has part of a banana and then decides he doesn't want the other half. Instead of being like, ew, and throwing it away or not thinking about it, I save it, I eat it later, I count it like, score for me. I only have to count it as one purple instead of two purples in the fix, but whatever. My point is, making small sacrifices in the short end is so worth it in the long end. This business really, really is worth it. It's an amazing opportunity, but you really need to open up and sharing your personal journey, your personal struggles consistently. I think I've said that about 10 million times, but consistently. And you say you don't have time for it, but people post on Facebook all the time without thinking. So post happy things, try not to be negative. Being negative, somebody's going to read that and be like, I don't really want to be negative like her. So why would I end up doing a challenge with her if she invites me to one, because she's not a very happy person. And I used to post like grumpy things all the time. My time hop reminds me of that. But be positive and consistent. And it's so easy to just pull out your phone, snap a picture of your food, and be like, first of all, you can say, wow, I'm really excited I was able to put this together. I didn't really have much food left in my house today. Yay for me, or about and about, and I'm really hungry, but I'm proud of myself because I brought a banana with me. Whatever it is. I know I posted about a week ago ideas to post to your groups too, but Thirsty Thursday, water challenge. How long does it take to post water challenge in the morning? Not very long at all. First thing you do when you wake up, just post a picture of yourself living your life. So we should all be working out, drinking our Shakeology. Post a picture of yourself working out. You don't need to put hammer and chisel or 21 Day Fix even in it. Just post the fact that you're doing it. So consistently over time, it's not the one post. It's, I've had a few people say my morning posts inspire them because I'm getting up in the morning. That means that I'm posting enough consistently in my private group that people realize I'm actually getting up every single morning. I don't post every morning. I do post every morning. I don't post a morning selfie every morning, but I do it enough that people realize I'm doing it and I reference it. So re-reference parts in your life, in your story as you're posting other things. This video is a little longer than I want it to be, so I'm going to cut it off here, but I really, really hope you listen to this. And I challenge you, really think of your deep personal fitness journey why and your deep personal financial why, and really hone in on that. In the short end, it is worth the time, an hour a day, but consistently. If you do an hour every couple of days, or in the beginning I was doing like 4 hours one day and then nothing the rest of the week, that's not going to work. You're going to get overwhelmed. It's not going to work. People aren't going to see you consistently. They're going to forget about you. So an hour a day consistently, super, super important. It's like if you had somebody join the 21 Day Fix Challenge and they said, okay, well, I'm going to work out 3.5 hours on Sunday because that's my 7 workouts, and I'm going to eat all my containers on Sunday, and then Monday through Saturday I'm just going to do whatever. Would that work? No, absolutely not. Technically, they're doing all their workouts, but they're not being consistent about it a little bit every day. It's a little bit every day, not a lot here, a lot there, randomly. Consistency. I've stopped watching TV with my husband. We have one show that we watch. And that's helped me because I'm not mindlessly eating, but one show we watch once a week. And we make dinner time with my son, our family time, and weekend time we've got some time. But I don't watch TV at night because even a half an hour show, I could be doing a little bit on my business. And it sounds like a sacrifice, but I'm telling you it is worth it, because in a couple of years, I won't have to spend this much time. I guarantee it. I won't have to spend this much time. And my husband will be home. He won't have to be working, because I'm positive that that's going to happen. So it'll be worth it in the long end. And that wouldn't have happened if we had both stayed with our with the direction we were both going in. Again, I'm not suggesting you quit your job. This can be done while you're working a full-time job. And like I said, I was pretty depressed, not sleeping, working full-time. And just by being genuine, I accidentally started to grow a business, which is why I decided that I could intentionally continue to grow my business. Have a happy Friday.